Better idea. Let me go to library. Is there anything in all timers here that's actually good that isn't Nightmare Star's Revenge? Let's see. Any short stories? I typically read longer things, which I need to stop fucking doing.
We can do Crazy Steve and Equestria. The great story of all time.
No, we're gonna read Best Hell Ever. This is the kind of story that Geo would absolutely adore.
Oh, that's a classic.
Have you read this
It's
one,
not,
Geo?
No, I think it might be on my read later though.
All right, well here we go. We're gonna do a reading of it. So perfect timing. This is one of my favorite
I
Twilight stories on the whole site.
I believe this one was #1 for a while.
It was, yeah. This was a very,
It
very
also
good story.
it also inspired a few imitations out there.
All right, so Geo, would you like to be do the honors and be Twilight?
Yeah, sure.
All right, and then Muggany, you'll be the demon,
Okay.
and I'll be I'll be Satan. All right. Actually, no, Geo, you be Satan as well. Mr. Sataner is his name or something, or Sataner. I don't know how to pronounce it. But so this is Best Hell Ever by Rambling Writer. Absolutely incredible story. Suddenly finding herself in hell, Twilight is presented with one fact. For the rest of eternity, she's stuck in a library holding every book possible. She's expected to organize them and is allowed to read them. What makes this hell again? All right. Oh. Zoom down. I hate that feature sometimes. All right. So this is the only chapter. The celestial bureaucracy needs better clerks. The ground was cold and hard beneath Twilight's hooves, like polished stone. She couldn't remember how she'd gotten here. Her last memories were of being at dinner with Spike and Starlight, talking about a recent changeling rally in Canterlot. 1 second she'd been there, and the next she was here, with no magic or anything. So where was here?
Welcome to hell.
That wasn't a good sign. Twilight looked up. She was in some kind of reading room, with small tables meant for holding books and papers. The walls were lined with shelves and shelves and shelves of books and books and books. She was in a library, yea, hopefully, of some kind, only bigger than any library she had ever seen before. The aisles leading out from the room stretched out in all directions before disappearing into the distance, and even the ceiling above her seemed miles away. Standing in front of her was a demon, of vaguely equine shape, and yet at the same time not at all, composed more of stony shadow than flesh and blood. Its voice was deep, with the rumble of 2 ships slamming into each other.
This is hell, is it?
Twilight said cautiously. Her personal hell was a library? What was the catch? The demon ran a tongue over needle-like teeth.
Indeed. You will experience personalized torments for the rest of eternity here.
Which clashed immensely with what Twilight was seeing.
So where are we?
This is the Library of Babel,
said the demon, still in that voice that might have been horrifying if it hadn't been telling Twilight the most amazing things.
I need to scare your voice so well. It contains every book that has ever been written, every book that will ever be written, every book that has never been written, and every book that will never be written.
Very
Okay.
breathy. Very breathy.
Yeah. The other voice was better, by the way. I think it picked up a bit better on the mic. Do your line again, Gio.
Okay.
Twilight was still waiting for that one little qualifier that would make it terrible. This was hell. Why was she in hell anyway? There had to be something bad involved.
As you can imagine,
The demon said.
the sheer amount of knowledge contained within these walls is not organized or conducive to searching.
It smiled.
And that's where you come in.
Twilight got it and perked up.
Wait. You're saying I get to organize these books? Every book possible? For all eternity?
That was the catch? That didn't seem particularly hellish. Worst catch ever. Or would that be the best catch ever? The demon cackled a cackle of granite slabs scraping against each other.
Oh, yes, every book. Enjoy your stay. You'll be here a while.
It vanished in a puff of smoke and a stench of rotten eggs. Twilight looked up at the shelves reaching to the ceiling high above. A library of every book ever and every book never, and she got to organize them. In fact, there hadn't even been any restrictions on reading the books. What kind of hell was this? This would be easy, and if she had a quill and paper to work out a system, it'd also be quick, in the grand scheme of infinity anyway. She quickly started surveying the tables and... aha! Right there was a quill and an inkwell and a stack paper for infernal beings to take notes. Perfect. Twilight quickly tested the quill. It'd be just like hell for her to have a quill but no ink. She turned out to be right and wrong. The inkwell had no ink, but it did have blood. Twilight wrinkled her nose. The smell was going to be terrible soon, but that was the worst thing she'd experienced so far, and it wasn't that bad. Twilight quickly began working out a system in the best hell she'd ever been in. All right, so the top one is the demon, and then Geo, you'll be the next response. That's Satan here.
Mr. Satan here, sir.
Yes, Wormwinnie.
We've got a problem. You know, I sent a soul to organize one of the libraries of Babel a while back.
Sure, standard punishment for...
She did it.
Come again?
She did it. She organized the library.
The whole...
Yes, the whole thing. You'd think I'd be here if she hadn't organized the whole thing?
That's not possible. The library is infinite.
Look, don't ask me how she did it. But she did it. I walked through just to be sure. It is all perfectly organized. I asked her how she did it, and she said she had a system. Then she asked if I wanted to see it. And before I could say no thank you, she was shoving the scroll into my hands. I took a look at it and, well, see for yourself.
Huh. Uh-huh. But how... Oh, that's how. Huh. Uh-huh. Wow, this is really clever. She's even got the permutations of books properly separated.
And yes, I tried disrupting her system, throwing it back into chaos, but it's like, she's psychic! The moment I leave, she runs past me, apologizing because there's a disturbance in the folio or something. I go back and the books are organized again. I once tried to disorganize them while she was watching, and she hissed at me.
You were scared of a pony hissing at you?
You didn't see her! It'd make Beelzebub run for the hills!
Uh-huh. Right.
Look, one way or another, what we're gonna do now, she's organized the library. She's just sitting around reading books, and not just as a way to pass the time. Sir, I think she's having fun.
I'll send someone over to help you look into it. Make it quick. We don't want to sully Hell's reputation into one of rainbows and butterflies and flowers. Except when the person involved hates rainbows and butterflies and flowers, but you know how rare those are.
All right. Twilight trotted over to a table and laid the book she had found on it. According to her system, this is the ultimate Dross novel, and she wanted to test that. She opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. I'm going to keep doing this. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the book to the first page and read it. In it, she opened the... Outside it, she smelled fire and brimstone. Sigh. Demons again. But then, this was supposed to be hell. Maybe they were finally going to step up their game and turn this into something genuinely hellish. One of the demons looked a touch annoyed, but mostly in control of himself. The other looked nervous, constantly shifting his weight and glancing around at nothing particular. The in-control demon cleared his throat.
I'm screwed Trot. This is Worm Winnie.
Hello.
Twilight waved cautiously. What was this about?
I'm Twilight. Twilight Sparkle.
How are you enjoying your stay in hell?
That was a question Twilight never thought she'd hear. She bounced around a few possible answers before settling on the truth, to make things simple.
It's not remotely like hell.
She admitted.
I'm loving it.
Her joy bubbled over and she grinned.
I get to read every book possible.
Screwtrot nodded slowly.
Is it Winnie or Whiny?
Worm
Is it
Winnie,
Worm Winnie?
he said in a low, angry voice.
You messed up again.
And I'll
I
be,
received a-
oh, you want to be, I'll be Worm Winnie. I received a soul and a hell to put them in, protested Worm Winnie. I just did what I was told. It's not my fault.
Maybe not, but you should check that your soul and your hell are properly suited for each other.
Screwtrot tapped the floor once, twice.
What was the identifier of this specific hell?
Worm Winnie said something that was less a sound and more a torrent of pure sensation, ranging from gentle touches to burning cold to the loudest whispers Twilight had ever heard to that weak lemonade taste after the ice in it has melted. Do you know who has the Compendium of Infernos?
There's a copy in here.
Twilight pointed.
Go 4 miles and 3,758 feet that way. Take a left. Go 19 flights down the first set of stairs you find. Go a parsec to the right. That's a parsec exactly. And it'll be on the first edge of the 60-second shelf up.
Screwtrot and Worm Winnie stared.
I organized this according to a system. I know my system.
Protested Twilight.
It's not that hard. See, you were looking for factual information, so...
I'll be right back.
Screwtrot said quickly. He ran down the direction Twilight had pointed. He ran back a few seconds later, reading the book Twilight had mentioned and looking very, very angry. He showed his current page to Worm Winnie.
Worm Winnie, can you tell me what sort of pony is supposed to be here?
Worm Winnie read a few lines and cringed. A green earth pony?
Can you tell me what sort of pony Twilight Sparkle is?
A purple alicorn?
Can you tell me whether or not Twilight Sparkle is supposed to be here?
No, she isn't.
Like I said, you messed up again. I'll deal with you later. Scram.
Worm Winnie vanished. Screwtrot rubbed his head.
That demon.
He muttered.
It's a wonder I haven't eaten him already.
Twilight cleared her throat.
So what about...
You were sent to the wrong personal hell.
Said Screwtrot, almost apologetically.
This was meant to be for a sloth committing the sin of sloth, not someone who likes everything neat and orderly.
Oh.
Said Twilight. That explained a lot.
In fact,
Screwtrot fanned through the book.
I don't think you're supposed to be in hell at all. I can't find an entry for you. I don't think you're even supposed to be dead.
Damn, you're like giving up on reading your lines. You better get better at reading these, Mugany.
What are you talking about? It's called acting. I'm just reading as somebody who's dead inside.
Hey, you see those little dots at the end of sentences? Those are periods. You pause
just
for a
picture-
second when you see those.
Listen, I just pictured that this character just feels dead inside at the moment, so that's how I'm reading it.
So
Go
does
on.
this mean I'm going back home?
But she didn't want to leave the library just yet. There was so much to...
Absolutely. We don't know why you were sent to hell before you died, but rest assured, we ensure it will never happen again. Hell apologizes for the inconvenience, and have a pleasant day, ma'am.
It's like your customer service voice. Before she could protest, Twilight vanished from the library, and reappeared at the dining room table where Starlight and Spike were discussing a changeling rally in Canterlot, exactly what they'd been discussing when she'd died. From the sounds of things, she could get right back to life, as if none of it had ever happened. But Twilight thought about the infinite library in hell. And Twilight thought about her own minuscule library here. Tears began welling in her eyes. Twi? Asked Spike. You look real weird all of a sudden.
I was in hell and had access to every book possible.
Twilight wailed and planted her head and her face in her salad. Down in hell, although that particular clerical error had been sorted out, that still left the matter of how Twilight had died in the first place and got placed in this particular hell. And there was one option that Screwtrot was particularly keen on. He reached through time and space and possibility and yanked Discord into the library by his antler. Discord, as usual, wasn't too put out. Can I be Discord, Magani?
I feel like I can pull off a good Discord impression, but I wanted to see yours. Go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Trot. Now do yours.
Hello, Mr. Trotz. Mine's way too enthusiastic.
I mean, he's enthusiastic when he talks.
I mean, mine's a little flamboyant.
Oh, it's flamboyant. You know what? Let's do flamboyant Discord.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Trotz.
He beamed. All right, too flamboyant. Put it down to a 9. He beamed.
Hello, Mr. Trotz.
He beamed.
Long time no see. Still heading down the lowarchy. The lower Archy. You should come visit Equestria. The weather is scheduled to be quite lovely this time of year. A pony ended up in the wrong hell.
Rumbled Screwtrot.
In fact, they weren't supposed to go to hell at all. Are you responsible? I did her a favor. Really. She got to spend so much time organizing books with no disruptions. Just because I find order dull doesn't mean Draconequist!
Yelled Screwtrot. He squirted Discord with an acid spray bottle.
Bad! You're not supposed to interfere with the afterlife! Hi, resent that. That was really flamboyant.
Protested Discord. No. It's too late. He's slowly progressing in flamboyance. Protested Discord, flailing his arms to protect himself from the acid. After all, it would get him wet.
I'm sorry, that line was just good. Okay. The author had Plot Bunny that they needed to get rid of. I did them a favor too. And you know how hard it is for me to do favors?
He scraped a drop of acid from his fur, licked it, and cringed.
Oh, please. Sulfuric, still? You really need to switch to fluoroantimonic. Too much work. So you say.
Discord wriggled out of Screwtrot's grasp.
Anyway, I shouldn't keep you any longer, not with all the work you have waiting on you. Toodles!
And he was gone. Screwtrot sighed, but there wasn't anything he could do about it. He did need to get back to work. Another day, another damnation. All right. That was our reading of Best Hell Ever by Rambling Writer. Gio, your first time seeing that story. What do you think of it?
That was pretty good.
It's a very Twilight story.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's hear it for our voice actors. Our main two, Gio and Mogany. Very, very good job, guys. Let's see.